Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to study about how and what happens to zygote till it becomes blastocyst and the implantation part. It's a very important journey and I hope you find this video informative. So, without any further ado, let's start the video. Zygote is a diploid thing, okay? It has the ploidy of 2n. So, from zygote to blastocyst, what all happens and how it happens is the main important part of this video that we're going to go through. So, the basic thing that happens in a zygote that leads to a blastocyst is cleavage. Now, what is cleavage? Cleavage is nothing but the series of mitotic divisions that takes place. And these mitotic divisions are pretty fast and very rapid. What happens in this basically is the number of the cells will increase rapidly and the size will decrease. This is very common. See, if you're having a cell, it is in a 2-cell stage. Now when it becomes 4, each cell size will decrease, but the number is going to increase, which is the general common sense that happen. Okay, so cleavage is basically where the number of the cells will increase and the size of each cell will decrease. Always keep this in mind. So after 36 hours after the fertilization, the first cleavage takes place. This is very important. It takes place after 36 hours. What happens is the one zygote becomes 2 cells, and these dividing cells are called blastomeres. Subsequently, in the second division, the 2 cells become 4 cells. In the third division, the 4 cells become the 8 cells, and further 8 become 16. The blastomeres from the third division on, that is the 8th cell stage on, become very compact and are connected to each other by tight junctions present in the cell, and this is called compaction of the cells. On the day 3, that is 72 hours after the fertilization, the cells of the compacted embryo will divide again. So that is, we've come till the 8th cell stage. From the 8th cell stage, it'll again become it'll divide again and it'll become a 16 cell morula. Now this is also called a mulberry shaped morula because the cell arrangement looks like it's a mulberry. Okay, now from the 16 cell on, the arrangement of the cell changes. This thing divides into an outer cell mass and an inner cell mass. The same 16 cells, there is something outer cells and there's something called inner cells. Okay? Now, the accumulation of fluid in the internal cavity, in the inside cavity, forms the blastocyst, and the cavity filled with the fluid is called blastocele. As you can see, this is the diagram of a blastocyst. Now, what is blastocyst? This contains fluid. It is filled with fluid. It has 2 zones, the outer zone and the inner zone. Outer zone and the inner zone. Okay. Now, we have an image and I'd like to show you. This thing is your outer zone and this thing is your inner zone. Okay, and this part of it is your zona pellucida. Now, blastocele is the fluid filled cavity of the blastocyte. It contains fluid here. Okay, now when we have 2 layers, this is the outer cell mass and this is the inner cell mass as we discussed earlier. What happens? Your outer cell mass is of single layer of cells. It contains large cells, and this gives rise to the placenta, which provides the nutrition to the fetus and is also called trophoblast because placenta is being formed and trophoblast is formed out of the outer cell mass. Now coming on to the inner cell mass, the cells that are in the inside, on the inside of the outer cell mass. These cells are pluripotent in nature. What do you mean by pluripotent? They can form anything, also called stem cells like that. These cells are able to form any kind of cell of the body, endoderm, ectoderm, okay? And this gives rise to the embryo. The embryo which will develop into fetus further. Now, these cells, since these cells give rise to the embryo, these are called embryoblasts. So, the cells that give rise to placenta is called trophoblast, and the cells that give rise to the embryo is called embryoblast. Let's once go through the entire process of what happens. First, we have a zygote. We have a zygote that gets converted into a two-cell stage at 36 hours post-fertilization. This division takes place through a cleavage furrow that is formed in the zygote. Then this cleavage furrow again divides and forms 4 cells staged on the second division progressively. On the third division, you will see an 8-cell stage. This 8th cell becomes mulberry shaped and forms a morula at 16 cells, also called as morula. Further division forms a perfect complete morula, and then a blastocyst is formed, which is a fluid filled cavity of the blastocyst. Thank you for watching the video. Did this video help you to understand the concept? If it did, please let me know. Don't forget to give your feedback in comment section. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Ta-da! Have a good day.